Hello, welcome to Notts Today with me, Al Booth. I hope you're well. This is what is happening in Notts on Tuesday. And a Nottingham farm that's been without a working boiler for a year has had Christmas come early thanks to support from a charity.
So for the last 6 months we've been no radiators, no warm water, even in the kitchens. The staff are delighted because we'll have warm office and the cafe will be far more welcoming to visitors.
There you go, that's coming up for you. Also on the show we'll be discussing how the County Council is trying to improve education services for children with special educational needs. It includes how the authority is addressing delays to vital health and care plans after deadlines were missed for hundreds of children. We've also heard from businesses in a Mansfield industrial block who've been told they've now got months rather than weeks to leave their premises.
Now that we've got the extension, everybody's a bit relieved. A lot of the stall holders here have the ability to try and sell up quickly and get their stock down so they have somewhere to put it.
And here's something worth hanging around for. Later on, you'll get to watch a 77-year-old gym instructor put our reporter Jack Sims through his paces. That is going to kick off a bumper sport. Is that sport? Forest, County and Stags are preparing for vital midweek action. We're going to hear from bosses of all the clubs, including Mansfield manager Nigel Clough.
On their day, them and Birmingham, I think, are probably the two teams that can hurt you the most on their day in terms of football. So I just hope they don't click, and well, it's our job to stop them doing that.
There you go, we've got that and much more coming up just for you. First though, it's time to talk farms, heating, Christmas and charity, all combined. It's mixed in together thanks to a generous donation by a charity to support Nottingham's Stonebridge City Farm. It's been open to visitors in St Anne's for several decades now, and throughout all that time it's been using the same boiler, and that dates all the way back to the 1970s. However, 6 months ago that was decommissioned after an inspection, and it left the organisation without heating or hot water for half a year. As our reporter Marta Evora Silva reports, Christmas has come early though, thanks to a volunteer plumbing project.
Christmas is around the corner, but for Stonebridge City Farm, the big day itself has come early. That's because the charity, which has been around for almost 5 decades, has been gifted a new boiler 6 months after it had to decommission its old one. The farm looks after a wide range of animals and spends thousands of pounds supporting its exotic array of species. But it's been without heating during that time, with its old boiler dating back to the 1970s and being shut down following an inspection. Since then, the farm has struggled to find a new boiler and faced challenges keeping both its volunteers and animals warm. But the festive period brings good tidings. Warriors of Warmth, a charity led by volunteers who give free heating, hot water hubs across the UK, visited the farm this past weekend to help Stonebridge in a moment of struggle.
I'm from Nottingham, and the first thing I do is any charities in Nottinghamshire where I live, I contact them directly and say, if you want a free plumber, I'm here. And they reply that they've had no heating or hot water for 6 months.
We get involved through these guys as Warriors of Warmth. We give the product free of charge. We do it for the community and charity. It's good causes, isn't it, at the end of the day.
Because people say to me, Andy, why do you do it? And I say, well, it's crazy really, because I could have spent time either working for myself, or we could all work for ourselves. We could go out with the kids or something like that. But we've given that up to be able to come and help this kind of hub, because it's such a nice feeling. And when you drive off home, it feels really nice that you've actually helped somebody out by keeping them warm and giving them hot water. So.
And for those on the farm, this new heating system is a gift that will keep on giving, both to its staff and its animals.
So for the last 6 months we've been no radiators, no warm water, even in the kitchens, and it's been very, very difficult. And obviously with the ice coming now, it's made it more difficult for us to give the animals even decent water to drink. All the staff are delighted because we'll have warm office, and the cafe will be far more welcoming to visitors, and also we won't have to worry about the ice in the bath tubs where the animals drink, so it's going to really help all of us.
With its new boiler, Stonebridge Farm can enjoy a warmer winter season thanks to the warmth and kindness of others. Marta Evora Silva for Notts TV.
Right, let's move on now. It's time to talk education. More importantly though, how delays to vital education, health and care plans for children across Notts are being addressed by the County Council. These plans are legal documents drawn up for children with special educational needs and disabilities, and they set out what additional help they need as well. They're supposed to be completed within 20 weeks of a request for an assessment, but previous figures found less than 1 in 4 plans were carried out during that time frame. More up-to-date figures show this number is improving, and our local democracy reporter Lauren Monaghan is here to explain more. Lauren, so what are the up-to-date stats then?
Yeah, so we'll just go over it again. So this ECHP, it's an educational care and health plan. So as you said, it's a legal document. It details their needs, support and the progress that young people with SEND want to make. And when we say SEND, obviously we mean special educational needs and disabilities. So they receive these plans after they have an assessment, and as you said again, the target time is within 20 weeks. The government's targets for local authorities is 50% of these need to be within the 20-week time frame. So between January and October this year, there was just under 1,400 requests for an assessment to get one of these plans, and this is 23.4% higher than the same time frame just the year before. And then between January and October this year, 36.3% were given in time compared to 27.9%, again the same time frame the year before. So they have made an improvement over that year, and if we compare this to 2022, they were only administering 4.5% within 20 weeks. So it has been a significant jump in the last couple of years.
Yeah, it has, hasn't it? That said, there have been failings that have been identified, haven't they? What have those been?
The Ofsted and CQC, the Care Quality Commission, it was a report from 2023. They found some issues with the council services for SEND, so that there needs to be more identification and support for SEND, and they need to better identify the delays and gaps with the access that people are getting with the health services, and to better use the performance data to look at these gaps. So they were some of the issues that they found.
Okay, so like you say, it's gone from around 4% up to the 30s. So that is improvement though, isn't it? So what have they done to reach that level of improvement? Well,
they have been doing a bit for SEND services. So I went there not too long ago actually. There is a £20 million project for a new SEND school in Mansfield. This is hoping to create 160 new places for 7 to 19-year-olds for those with autism, and this is expected to get its first students from January 2026. The council have employed 9 extra educational psychologists, and apparently these are quite hard to employ. Not 100% sure why, but apparently there's a bit of an issue there. There's more SEND pathway officers, and in April they secured £16 million from the government for more SEND pupil places. I think they achieved that through the incoming council leader writing to the MPs in the area. And overall there's a £50 million project for up to 490 extra SEND pupil places by 2026.
Oh, right, okay. So let's go back to what you just said about the incoming council leader. So Sam Smith has been announced, has taken over Ben Bradley. What do we know about him?
So I was speaking to him yesterday because I went to a county council meeting where they were discussing the update in these SEND statistics. So Councillor Sam Smith, he's hoping that the council will achieve the national average by the end of the academic year. If we go back, they're currently at 36.3. They want to go up to 50%, so he's hoping to achieve that before the end of the academic year. In his new role as the incoming council leader, let's assume that he will be the new council leader, he will sit in the combined authority meetings, and he'll also sit on the county council network, and he told me that he's going to be banging on the drums for education and SEND services. So he's really going to be applying that pressure to the government for better SEND services and securing the funding that goes into them. He wants more streamlined qualification qualifications for educational psychologists, and again I think this goes back to some of the issues that councils have in employing them, and a review of the plans.
Okay, Lauren, thank you very much. Right, let's see what else is happening in Notts today now. And a man has been arrested on suspicion of murder after a mum was killed when she was knocked off an e-bike. 25-year-old Alana Armstrong died at the scene of the collision on Batley Lane in Plesley near Mansfield about 8 p.m. on November the 26th. Derbyshire Police said it happened after the e-bike she was riding as a pillion passenger was struck by a blue Land Rover Discovery. Now a 23-year-old man has been arrested in Mansfield on suspicion of murder and is being questioned by police in Derby. And in Hucknall, a road was closed after a crash between a car and a motorbike. Wood Lane was affected following the incident, which happened at about 8 o'clock this morning. Nottinghamshire Police have confirmed a female motorcyclist was taken to hospital with serious injuries. The incident happened near Hillside Primary School, which confirmed any pupils who witnessed the incident are being supported by trained staff. Wood Lane was closed between the Hucknall Bypass roundabout and Windmere Road, while emergency services managed the incident. Right, coming up, we've got a bumper sport. We're going to see Forest back in action against struggling champions, Man City. That's tomorrow night. Tonight, though, Notts County and Mansfield Town are preparing for their midweek matches. We'll have all the chat on that, as well as Forest women, who just snuck through to the next round of their cup, 19-0. And we'll see what Jack Sims has been getting up with a 77-year-old fitness instructor as well. Hello, welcome back to Tuesday's show with me, Al Booth. I hope you're well. Thank you for being here. This is what's happening in Notts today for you. A rally against potential Nottingham City Council cuts will be held ahead of a crucial meeting this week. The Nottingham Save Our Services group will hold a protest lobby outside Loxley House on Wednesday. That's just before the council holds its Communities and Environment Scrutiny meeting. And that'll be when changes to library and community centre services will be discussed, including a consultation on plans to close 4 libraries in the city, which had more than 5,000 responses. The protest will start at 12:30 tomorrow afternoon. And a senior detective who was also a victim of domestic violence has urged more women to come forward and report abuse to police. Detective Inspector Abigail Goucher, who supported numerous victims of male violence against women and also suffered abuse in a previous relationship, says more victims should report their abusers no matter how difficult it may seem. She's assured women there's good support on offer from Nottinghamshire Police with a bold and proactive approach to protecting them even when criminal charges can't be secured. Right, moving on. In a minute, we've got your sport roundup. First, though, we are talking fitness. And whether you say you're too tired, you're too busy, or it's just too cold to get your muscles moving, and I'd say all 3 of them every morning, which is why I've not been to the gym for a week. One man is about to show you have no excuse to get into shape. 77-year-old Graham Parrington is a former truck driver from Radcliffe-on-Trent, and he began his fitness journey after his wife bought him a gym membership when he retired. Since then, he's become a fitness instructor at Home Pierpont, and he's teaching calisthenics classes. He's even competed at national competitions as well. Well, today, our reporter Jack Sims went along to pull his own weight.
To those who follow his Instagram, he's the king of calisthenics. But to those who come to Home Pierpont Country Park Gym, he's just Graham. 10 years ago, after retiring from his job as a lorry driver, Graham Parrington wanted to keep productive. So his wife Cynthia surprised him with a gym membership as a way of keeping active. Now he's 77 years old and has become a level 2 gym instructor, coaching strengthening classes at the gym, as well as participating in national calisthenic competitions, beating out those 30 years younger than himself. He says his main motivation to teach just came from wanting to give people a hand.
I like helping people. And the feedback you get, especially the classes I teach, their admiration for me is it's quite astounding. It's really nice, really nice. You can't be getting praise for a job that you do. It's like anybody that does a job, if they do it well, people will comment, oh, you've done a good job there. If I were doing something, I did it well. It's the way I was brought up. So anything that I do, I give it the full attention.
And for those who work with him, such as his manager Rachel Wheatman, Graham never fails to impress.
Well, when Graham's around, I don't really get much work done. I'm often out on the gym floor, imparting any sort of challenge he's got, or recording him for his Instagram. I found him very inspiring, bit of a quirky character. I think with Graham, he's just got a great outlook on life. He's got elements of play within his day-to-day. I know you're often told you need to kind of act your age, but I think we need to forget those societal pressures and just, have fun.
And for those of you at home thinking, oh yeah, I could do all that easy, well, ponder no longer, because I'm here to represent you. That's right, Graham is going to take me through just a few of his daily workout routines, such as this hanging L sit. Show him how it's done, Graham.
Go down slowly, control it, control it. Hold it! Hold! Oh, yeah!
Graham, how have I done?
Surprisingly well.
I'll take that. Well, I think I've done all I can here today. Graham, feel free to hang around. This has been Jack Sims for Nuts TV.
Oh, that was nice. Right, time for your sport now. And we'll start with Mansfield Town. They're back in league action tonight. They're playing Bolton Wanderers away. The Stags will be looking to build off a narrow 1-0 win over Stevenage in the FA Cup last weekend. That saw them book a place in the third round with a clash with fellow League One side Wigan Athletic. Speaking ahead of tonight's game, Mansfield manager Nigel Clough said Bolton are one of the league's top sides.
When you look at the fixtures in League One at the start of the season, and we talked about eight or nine ex-Premier League teams, well, we've got 2 in 4 days with Bolton and Huddersfield. Very strong teams, strong squads, and big clubs at this level. And I think both will be looking to get back out of the league as soon as they can. On their day, them and Birmingham, I think, are probably the 2 teams that can hurt you the most on their day in terms of football. I just hope they don't click. Well, it's our job to stop them doing that, as we did mostly with the leaders at Wickham and second in the league, Wrexham. Played very well away from home. The nice thing is, well, I don't think it phases us going to these places.
Notts County also playing tonight. They're heading to Walsall. Magpies are currently 5th in League 2 and they're 2 points behind the automatic promotion places. One of those spaces is occupied by tonight's opponents. In second place, 3 points above the Pies. Speaking before the game, County head coach Stuart Maynard said his squad have faced some injuries this season, including forward Matty Platt, who picked up a knock at the weekend, although he is hoping to use his wider squad tonight.
We're hoping that it could be cramp. He says it felt a little bit like that, but we just won't know until tomorrow. So the initial thing is we hope that it's cramp and potentially he can be available for Tuesday night. I think we've just been very unfortunate and very unlucky. If you look at the injuries that we've had, and we've talked about it for weeks now with the long-termers and then injuries that we've picked up, we've been very unlucky and very unfortunate. So it's just one of those things we have to deal with it. Whatever comes along, we have to deal with it. We can't have players until Jan, and we can't. The players that are the long termers, that they're back in Jan. So there's not loads we can do with it. We've got to work with what we've got to work. We've got to make sure that we manage the group and keep them as fresh as we can with this busy period that we're coming into now.
Forest also play midweek, but not until tomorrow night. They travel to struggling champions Man City. Man City haven't won in 6 games across all competitions. Pep Guardiola's side are just a point and a place above the Reds in the table now. Forest are in 6th after their 1-0 win over Ipswich on Saturday. While speaking ahead of tomorrow night's game, head coach Nuno Espirito Santo said City's poor form doesn't matter to the Reds and he expects they'll be at their best at the Etihad.
We are aware how tough it's going to be. I always say so. All the games are very tough. Playing against Man City, the situation doesn't really what we look at. We look at the quality, we look at the things that we have to do, and we have to do so many things right. Liverpool game it's something that we look at. We felt proud in that moment. It was long time ago. It passed so many months already. Now we are in a different situation in the competition. Honestly, we put that aside and just look at City, how good they are and how tough it's going to be.
Forest women won big on the weekend. They got 19 goals past lower league Long Itchington in the FA Cup second round. Head coach Carly Davies was missing from the sideline as the side cruised into the third round, but assistant coach Jay Dennings was there and praised the team's professionalism and gave special call-outs to some of their special players.
Yeah, very pleased. We asked the players to be relentless in their mindset and to prepare properly and show the opposition the respect they deserve. And yeah, really happy with the way they conducted themselves, and some of the stuff in the final third was excellent. Yeah, fair play to Bats. I don't think she was even aware it was her 100th game herself. So yeah, a great milestone for her, and we're all pleased for her, and she's been excellent for us this season. Yeah, obviously Freya's a key player for us, and it was good to see her get on the score sheet. You know, nearly a double hat-trick, but yeah, it was good to see Freya and others get on the score sheet.
It was another 4-point weekend for Nottingham Panthers. They firstly ended a long losing streak against Sheffield Steelers on Saturday, and then they won that one in the Still City by 4 points to 2 before returning to Nottingham on Sunday to face the Dundee Stars. That one was slightly closer though. The Panthers still came away with a 3-2 win. Speaking after both games, defenceman Matt Spencer said the side are tired, but they're excited by 2 more Elite League wins.
We've had a little bit of trouble against them so far this year, and it was certainly nice to put in a good effort and come out with the win. There's a lot of emotion besides just the game that's being played. You know, obviously I can't speak too much to what happened last year and the guys that were on the team, but just knowing that there was this streak against that team, it's just really glad to break it. And you know, I don't think anybody in the room is thinking it's just going to be, you know, we're just looking for that one win, you know, against Sheffield. It's going to be, that's our commitment every time we either go in their building or they come here. So you know, it was certainly great to get that monkey off the back.
And don't forget to tune in at 9 p.m. tomorrow night. We'll show you all the goals from the 3-2 win over Dundee, as well as the Teddy toss, which we featured on yesterday's Notts Today show. Now in rugby, Nottingham fell to league defeat on Friday. They were beaten at home by Bedford Blues. Charlie Mile and sub Jack Dickinson scored tries for the Archers at the Bay, but neither were converted. The visitors managed 3 tries of their own with 1 conversion to come away with the win. The losing bonus point defeat for the side leaves them sitting in 5th place in the championship table. Ealing are in 2nd. Nottingham next play on Saturday when they travel to 2nd from bottom Cambridge. Right, picture of the daytime now, a beautiful frosty snap as well. It is Woollerton Hall. This was taken by Rampix. They're frosty scenes though, they're not going to be around for long. It's going to be a dry night tonight, lows of 3 degrees. Tomorrow, the sun is going to come out over the day. We are going to see highs of 9 degrees. It's going to remain dry in the evening as well, dropping to 4 into Thursday, which unfortunately is going to be a wet one. You're going to wake up to rain. It is reaching double figures though, highs of 13. Right, still to come, we're going to find out why Nottingham City Council is encouraging people to hand in unwanted technology so it can then be given to people in need. And also, if you do fancy going out tonight, wrap up warm and we'll tell you where you can go. That is all on the way next. Hello, welcome back to Notts Today. I'm Al. This is what is happening this Tuesday. A project to develop a memorial to the UK's longest reigning monarch has started with tree and wildflower planting. Gedling Borough Council and the Tree Council have started the memorial to Her Majesty the late Queen Elizabeth II. They've invited local school children to begin planting trees and wildflowers at the country park. The £10,000 project is funded through several different pots and it's being led by the Friends of Gedling Country Park, with memorial benches also planned for next June on what would have been the Queen's official birthday. And staying in Gedling, there are plans for an equestrian centre catering for people with disabilities. It's been rejected though by the council over concerns about greenbelt land. Applicant Roundtree Equine Therapy wanted to turn land off Longdale Lane in Ravenshead into the equestrian centre. That's where paddocks for horses already exist. The plans would have included a riding area, stables for 4 horses, space for qualified coaches and a classroom as well. But Gedling Borough Council has rejected the plans because of concerns the centre would be too big and would impact the countryside. Right, wrap up warm if you're heading out tonight. There's lots going on, so let's have a look in our What's On guide. First up, if you fancy a laugh, there's plenty going on. There's the Fun House Comedy Club in Woolerton. The show starts at 8, doors open from 7:30 for that one. And Rob Mulholland is headlining, so you're in for a treat there if you go along to that one. Over at Rock City though, you can see pianist and cello duo Sheku and Isata Kana-Mason. They're on from 7. The sibling duo have been called some of the brightest young stars of classical music from just what an amazing talented family they're from as well. You can see that tonight. Or if you want something completely different, head over to Nottingham Contemporary for their Dance Mosaic. It's a class bringing together different styles from all over the world. It's all for a good cause as well. You'll raise money for the Nottingham Refugee Forum. Whatever you do decide to do, wrap up warm, it's freezing out there, have a good night. I mean, it's not technically freezing, but you know, it's not t-shirt weather, is it? Right, now, have you got your eyes on some new Christmas tech this Christmas, or have your kids, if like mine, have made a catalogue list full of it? If you have though, our next guests have got some advice on what you can do with all the old stuff. Nottingham City Council are teaming up with not-for-profit group Material Focus to help residents gift unused tech to people who need it. And I'm pleased to say Strategy, Engagement and Behaviour Change Officer Abby Sims and Head of Waste and Cleansing at Nottingham City Council Alvin Henry are here now to talk us through why the council is doing it and how you can get involved as well. Thanks for coming in. So let's talk about the first question. Abby, why are you doing this?
Well, it's a joint partnership between us, Material Focus, the non-for-profit, and Good Things Foundation, which are the charity that will be redistributing the collected tech across Nottingham and beyond. So they're a national charity, so they cover the whole of the UK. There's a huge problem at the minute with digital poverty, and I think the cost of living crisis has just added to the problem. I think the facts are staggering. 2.4 million people can't afford their own mobile phone contract, and 1.5 million people don't have access to a smartphone, tablet or a laptop. So we're in Nottingham, we're collecting items from residents who maybe don't use them or have got an upgrade, and we're going to remove all the data and redistribute them via the charity Good Things Foundation.
I think you're so right, and you know, I've got 2 young kids at school, and the schools more and more send them home with things to do on computers or on tablets, and almost take it for granted that's accessible, which, like you say, it isn't. So what qualifies then for the recycling then?
Anything really, from a tablet, smartphone, any kind of technically gadgetical bits really, from a laptop. So that's what we're looking for. There is, at the 6 sites available, there is we, in terms of small we can get rid of, and that was the brilliant idea which Abby came up with, in terms of, you know, we've already got the operations in place and the collections. She's just made it even more safer for those devices to be wiped, and then obviously in terms of the circular economy, for those items to be reused rather than recycled. Of course, recycling is still important to all of us, but in terms of the waste hierarchy, reuse is obviously far better.
Yeah, absolutely. That's a good point then. So in terms of, like I was saying before, I went up to get the Christmas decorations from Loft. There's very old, 2 old laptops up there, which just broke, and but they'll obviously have stuff on there that hasn't been wiped because they can't be used. So how do you deal with that?
So if you follow the instructions, so on our social media page, you can find some instructions about where to remove the stored data and stuff like that. So you'll be directed to Material Focus website, where they have how-to guides for people to remove the data and wipe their devices clean. But then, as a secondary measure, all devices we collect will be going to a specialist company that is information compliant, certified, and they'll be wiping it thoroughly as well. But the responsibility is on all of us who are donating to obviously wipe our data before
Yeah, absolutely. And going back about, like we're talking about old phones and stuff, it's not always possible these days. The leads have charged, charging leads have changed and everything. So who knows what embarrassing photos will be on there.
Yeah.
And how long's this running for?
So it's running until the 31st of January, and you can drop off your digital devices at, I think, Harvey Haddon, Bilborough Library, the Dale Centre in Sneinton, Genogley Leisure Centre, Clifton Leisure Centre, and there's one more. Harvey Haddon.
Harvey Haddon.
Yeah, we launched it there, didn't we?
So this has been running since last month. It's run since November.
Yeah, so the 25th of November was our launch date.
And what's the uptake been so far? Have you had much
I think the uptake's been good. I think the reception online, people have been really keen on the project, particularly the fact that we're working with such a great charity, the Good Things Foundation. So yeah, I think people are interested in it because digital exclusion isn't really talked about a lot. It's not something that's high on people's priorities, but it is such a problem in the UK. So anything we can do really to help people in digital poverty.
Absolutely. Where will it get redistributed to?
So it will get redistributed across the UK. However, the charity do have a special connection with Nottingham and have previously worked in the city for a few years so far.
And also refurb technology is like, as a Christmas present, I don't know how quick this turnaround is going to be, but any gift, is, you don't know it's refurb, do you?
I mean, in a modern society, I feel like people are being left behind by not having access to the digital world. The Good Things Foundation have delivered 125,000 digital packs, so that's not just a laptop or a tablet, it's a SIM card even to help people get online. They also educate people on how to access the internet. For example, you've got elderly people needing to access the NHS app, for example. They can't get on that if they don't have the correct device or the device doesn't access the internet. So it's all of those different problems that we're trying to solve.
Absolutely. A brilliant way to do it as well. Thank you so much for coming in.
Thank you.
Now, a reminder of something we've been talking about on the show, and that's the generous donation by a charity to help Stonebridge City Farm in St Anne's. It's been open for several decades and it's had the same boiler through all that time, but that packed in about 6 months ago. However, there is a plumbing charity that's been helping out, as we've been finding out.
Christmas is around the corner, but for Stonebridge City Farm, the big day itself has come early. That's because the charity, which has been around for almost 5 decades, has been gifted a new boiler 6 months after it had to decommission its old one. The farm looks after a wide range of animals and spends thousands of pounds supporting its exotic array of species. But it's been without heating during that time, with its old boiler dating back to the 1970s and being shut down following an inspection. Since then, the farm has struggled to find a new boiler and faced challenges keeping both its volunteers and animals warm. But the festive period brings good tidings. Warriors of Warmth, a charity led by volunteers who give free heating, hot water hubs across the UK, visited the farm this past weekend to help Stonebridge in a moment of struggle.
I'm from Nottingham, and the first thing I do is any charities in Nottinghamshire where I live, I contact them directly and say, if you want a free plumber, I'm here. And they reply that they've had no heating or hot water for 6 months.
We get involved through these guys as Warriors of Warmth. We give the product free of charge. We do it for the community and charity. It's good causes at the end of the day.
Because people say to me, Andy, why do you do it? And I say, well, it's crazy really, because I could have spent time either working for myself, or we could all work for ourselves. We could go out with the kids or something like that. But we've given that up to be able to come and help this kind of hub, because it's such a nice feeling. And when you drive off home, it feels really nice that you've actually helped somebody out by keeping them warm and giving them hot water. So.
And for those on the farm, this new heating system is a gift that will keep on giving, both to its staff and its animals.
So for the last 6 months, we've been no radiators, no warm water, even in the kitchens, and it's been very, very difficult. And obviously, with the ice coming now, it's made it more difficult for us to give the animals even decent water to drink. All the staff are delighted because we'll have warm office, and the cafe will be far more welcoming to visitors, and also. We won't have to worry about the ice in the bath tubs where the animals drink. So it's going to really help all of us.
With its new boiler, Stonebridge Farm can enjoy a warmer winter season thanks to the warmth and kindness of others. Marta Evora Silva for Notts TV.
Right, let's have a look at some more news headlines in Notts today. And police are asking for help after a man was assaulted on a petrol station forecourt. Police were called to a fight at the Texaco on Westdale Lane East in Carlton. That was around 11:30 p.m. on November the 2nd. It was reported a 42-year-old man had been assaulted. The victim had been found with extensive bleeding and swelling to his face before being taken to hospital. A 46-year-old man and a 14-year-old boy were arrested but have been bailed. And police say anyone with further information should call 101. And a violent robber who used a brick to leave a man with 2 broken eye sockets has been jailed. The incident happened when the victim intervened to stop 37-year-old Eamon Duffy from using a paving stone to break into a van on Hofield Crescent in Bulwell. Duffy knocked the glasses off the head of the victim in his 50s before hitting him multiple times with the brick. Duffy of Jefferson Road in Sutton in Ashfield admitted to robbery and criminal damage in Nottingham Crown Court last week and was jailed for 8 years. Right, coming up on the show, we are finding out about new research into customer spending habits across Victoria Centre, including how different star signs shop differently. That's all on the way next. Hello, welcome back to Notts Today with me, Al Booth. I hope you're well. This is what's going on in your county. And the leader of Ashfield District Council has insisted Sutton Shopping Centre is still a bustling community hub after it was put up for auction. The Idlewell Shopping Centre is going under the hammer later this month for a guide price of more than £3 million. Current owner Davley Estates say it will remain as a shopping centre and insisted the sale has nothing to do with performance. Jason Zadrozny, the council's leader, says the centre is still bustling and confirmed the council will work with new owners so it can continue to thrive. And town centres in Mansfield and Bassetlaw will take part in a new pilot project aimed at bringing vacant shops back into use. The project has been announced by the government and gives councils the power to auction off leases for commercial properties that have been empty for long periods. The project aims at stopping landlords from sitting on empty lots for more than 365 days over a 2-year period. Early adopters of the new powers includes the district councils in Mansfield and Bassetlaw. And staying with Mansfield, you might have seen last month on the show, about 20 businesses were told they had less than a month to shut up shop and leave an industrial site, while retailers in Botany Commercial Centre received an email telling them to move their business out by the end of November. That was because of extensive building renovations. Since then, discussions with landlords Galaxy Real Estate have given all business 6 months to get their affairs in order before that work will get started. And that gives them slightly more breathing space to get their affairs in order. Jordan Guerrero has got more.
The news that many businesses at the Botany Avenue Commercial Centre have been waiting to hear has finally arrived. They've been given until the 1st of May to pack up all their goods and shut up shop for the last time here in Mansfield. It might not immediately seem like good news, but just last month they were told by landlord Galaxy Real Estate to leave the land within weeks. The landlord needs the site vacant for about 10 months, so immediate repairs can be carried out on the roof. But after concerns are raised, they've instead been given 6 months to get their affairs in order before leaving the centre behind. For the Botany Avenue indoor car boot, it gives traders ample time to sell as much stock as possible.
Now that we've got the extension, everybody's a bit relieved. A lot of the stall holders here have the ability to try and sell up quickly and get their stock down so they have somewhere to put it. It's on the run up to Christmas, which everybody was kind of anxious about, because this is a time of year where the community could come in and buy Christmas gifts for those that are facing hardship, but at the same time the stall holders here have the opportunity to make the money for Christmas, which is what they was hoping to do before we got the notice.
One of the traders who runs her stall every weekend is Jacqueline Lowe from Mapperley, who's been selling kids' toys here since February. She says even with the 6 months period, it's sad news, because places like this are a great way to start a business.
I've got a really big stall, and the thought of taking it all down and finding somewhere to put it and losing the contacts really that I've made here. This is a little bit like a stepping stone for businesses here. A lot of people start out here and then move on to having their own shop shops.
Mark Kay set up this community-driven Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu and fitness centre back in 2019. He's now looking for a new home for his company and says moving out will mean he'll lose a lot of his students.
You know, I've invested all my time, money into the property, all my life savings, you know, from putting all my money into the place. We've had the roof collapse next door, £57,000 worth of damage, which we're not going to get back. Moving, we're going to lose some students, and that's not what we want to do. We want to keep everybody together.
Management company Galaxy Real Estate says it deeply regrets disruption to its tenants, but said their safety must remain a priority. But for the traders, this decision gives them some breathing space to work out what the future holds. Jordan Guerrero for Notts TV.
Now, Christmas shopping is well underway, well, for the organised ones anyway. The Victoria Centre have delved into the way that we shop at this time of year, discovering that people are nostalgic about Christmas music and decorations, and even that our star signs can tell us a lot about how we shop. There's a lot of research gone into this. Glenn Staniforth is the operations manager at the Victoria Centre, and he had his checklist then, didn't he? You were going through all the stars and everything. Before we get to the star signs bit, because that is very quirky and intriguing. What's it looking like on the high street then this year?
High street is busy, definitely making a comeback. That in-person shopping, that touch and feel, wanting to get out, wanting to experience Christmas, it seems to be really, really popular for people this year. I think you just want to get out and have a good time, feel the festiveness.
Yeah. So what age groups are you seeing doing the most of it?
So when you look at the generations, sort of millennials and Gen Z, you're starting to see them shopping more. So over nearly 60% of them like to physically get out into the shops. Those younger generations, 20s to mid-30s, like physical product, like the experience, like the decorations, love the music. They want the whole sort of festive experience, the food, the smells, the crowds. That's the way it seems to be going.
Has that changed in recent years?
Yeah, the age group that you're looking at there, particularly sort of after COVID, was very keen on staying at home, didn't want to come out. Sort of that online shopping was their go-to. And there's a big shift from being sort of in their house to wanting to get out, wanting to share that experience socially. So there's a lot of bloggers, a lot of sort of people out there promoting what it's like shopping, and it seems to be a thing now, which is great for us.
So of course, you go out shopping, but you also are seen to be out shopping, I guess.
Yeah, so it's not just going out shopping, it's promoting what you've bought and where you bought it from, and then taking it home. The unboxing aspect of it is incredibly important, you know, showing people how the gifts have been wrapped, the experience you've had, and that sort of wanting that interactive experience with the sales team, with the people on the counter, in centre, the teams. It seems really on point at the moment for the younger generations.
That's brilliant, isn't it?
I think
Going
so.
forward, that's great, because it's the revive. And the nostalgia, we were just saying then, nostalgia's...
Yeah, the nostalgia for us is really key to what we're trying to bring into Christmas this year. We've brought in a whole new scheme of decorations, which is very sort of quirky and on that sort of 80s nostalgia. Looks very similar to a popular tin of sweets when you open it.
Right.
All the sort of bright colourfulness, the chains, the paper chains. And then Christmas activity with Nordic Brights that opens up on 20th for families. That family fun, that nostalgia, that sensory stuff is what we're aiming Christmas at this year.
Yeah, and also, you know, shopping. I mean, there are great attractions. We were talking about this on the show yesterday. Great attractions in our county, but actually, just shopping centre is a great attraction at Christmas, and it's free or cheaper. You know, you'll have visit Santa and stuff. But
I mean, you can come shopping. There's 120 stores. You can eat. There's loads of grab and go food that caters for everybody's needs. You can shop the decorations. You can shop the hidden brands. I think when you look at shopping in the centre, there's health and beauty. There's a lot of electricals this year that are very, very popular. Lots of perfumes, cosmetics, always popular. Slippers are always a go-to as well. And certain brands that we've got in the centre, John Lewis as an example as a department store, sells so many different products that you probably wouldn't even know are there.
Well, let's get on to the theme of star signs then.
Okay.
This is quirky. So is this your own research into...
So we commissioned some research across the UK. So we spoke from one end of the UK to the other. We spoke to over 2,000 people. And as part of that research, confirmed star signs, dates of birth and so on. And it linked in some of the key questions. And surprisingly, we found out that there was such a vast amount of information that links your star sign and how you interact at Christmas or shopping in general we wanted to talk about it.
So what did you find? Like what star sign wants what?
As an example, I'm an Aquarius.
Right.
Now, I was really sceptical about this because I was kind of like, what, star signs and shopping? What's that got to do? But, it does work. So I like gadgets, I like gifting, I like Christmas music. And I do. I've just built a house, so I love ovens, I love microwaves, and it sounds a bit weird, this does. But when you actually read the information, it says that I like gadgets, I like Christmas music. That's what my star sign is. So it is quite fascinating.
Aquarians are known for their love of ovens as well.
It must be, yeah. It's top of the list, isn't it? Aquarians love ovens, yeah.
Well, thanks, Aquarian. I love that, and I love that Christmas is back on the high street. Going out, hearing the Christmas songs, just seeing everyone smiling. It's what we need, isn't it?
It's definitely what we need. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks, Glenn. Right, elsewhere here on Notts TV, we've got a brand new episode of Arts Pod. It's on at different points throughout the week, so you can't miss it. It's a regional theatre and arts preview with Andrew Hatfield and Steve Wallace. They're looking ahead to the best upcoming shows and performances across the Midlands and beyond. This time they've got an interview led by journalist Rebecca Jones with Tim Minchin and Dennis Kelly. They're co-creators of Matilda the Musical, and that is coming to Nottingham's Arts Theatre next May. You can see the full interview during the show tonight, right here at 7:30.
Looking back, could you have envisaged it would be the huge success that it's gone on to be?
Dennis,
we knew. We definitely
Dennis
we had
10
no
mil,
idea.
I reckon 10 mil.
If I can hit 5 mil, I'll be happy. No. I mean, we didn't know for a minute. Like, we were doing a Christmas show at the RSC. You know what I mean? And so I don't think we really had a view of it being much more than. I think you and Matthew probably had a wiser thought about, this could have a West End life. But because
Matthew Walsh is
the director. But because, I was writing, my day job is to write grimy little plays that upset people, you know what I mean? And
While we're on the theme of Christmas as well, and Tim Minchin, if you've never heard White Wine in the Sun, have a listen. Be prepared to cry, but it is one of the most beautiful Christmas songs you'll ever hear. There you go. Right, let's have a look at your picture of the day now. Staying with the Christmas theme, Ram Picks took this at Woollerton Hall. A nice crispy grass there. Those frosty scenes could fade away over the next couple of days though. Temperatures are going to rise slightly. It's going to be 3 degrees over tonight, remaining dry. And then tomorrow, the sun's going to come out, reaching a high of 9 degrees. Unfortunately then, it drops to 4 into Thursday when we're going to see quite a lot of rain. Thursday is going to be a wet one, although the temperatures creep up to 13. There you go. Right, thank you for being with me today. Remember that tonight we have the Pies and Stags in action, and tomorrow there's a brand new episode of Team Talk as well. Forest will be playing. We'll be looking at Forest women as well. I'm Al Booth. I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.